Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at Naruto and Sasuke from the anime Naruto. I mean, their rivalry, it's legendary. And I know you guys are really interested in how their friendship could turn into this crazy competition.
Yeah.
You want to know what was behind their big battles, the ones everyone talks about, and, what kind of mark their story left on, well, on anime, really.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be diving deep, no pun intended, into this iconic duo.
Right.
And it's fascinating to think of these two rivals. They were actually first brought together by this shared sense of loss.
Oh, absolutely. It's true. Both Naruto and Sasuke were orphans.
Yeah.
And, they were just looking for connection.
Yeah.
And that common ground, that shared understanding, that's what really sparked their initial bond.
Yeah.
But, even though they shared that experience, their personalities and their past, they were completely different.
Right.
And that really set the stage for their rivalry.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have Naruto, who is ostracized because of the nine-tailed fox, the demon fox sealed inside of him.
Right.
And he was just desperate for approval, for people to accept him,
Yeah.
And then you have Sasuke, who carries the weight of vengeance.
Right.
Because he witnessed his brother Itachi massacre their entire clan.
It's almost like they were two sides of the same coin.
Yes.
Right. You have this desire for connection and then this drive for revenge. And so how did that play out when they were put on the same team?
Well, when they joined Team 7, along with Sakura,
Yeah.
they were under Kakashi's leadership.
Right.
And the different personalities, their natural abilities, they really came to a head. Think about it. Naruto, he really struggled at first. He was so eager, but he didn't really have the skills.
Right. Right.
Sasuke, on the other hand, he excelled. It was effortless, And so you can imagine their rivalry just intensified. Naruto was always pushing himself, trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And Sasuke never wanted to be outdone. Never.
Yeah. That must have made for some pretty interesting training sessions.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
It was a constant back and forth.
Yeah. So did their rivalry ever work in their favor? I mean, you think it would be complete chaos?
Well, surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah.
That constant drive to be better than the other, it actually pushed both of them to become so much stronger.
Wow.
They absorbed Kakashi's teachings like sponges. They were constantly mastering new techniques, always trying to gain an edge over the other.
Right.
And their rivalry, it became this weird, strange kind of catalyst for their improvement.
Right.
Like a good example is their mission against Zabuza.
Right.
They were forced to cooperate, right, against this really strong enemy.
Yeah.
And their rivalry, it transformed. It became this powerful synergy. It was the first time they realized, hey, we're not just rivals.
Yeah.
We're comrades too.
Right.
We can really depend on each other.
So from this intense competition to a powerful partnership.
Yeah, exactly.
That's quite a shift.
Yeah.
So was this when their friendship really solidified, would you say?
I think it was definitely a turning point, but it didn't last, unfortunately.
Oh.
Because Sasuke, he was so consumed by this need for revenge that he made a choice that just shattered everything. He left Konoha,
Right.
and he joined Orochimaru.
Wow. So that must have been devastating for Naruto.
Oh, it was. Imagine
Yeah.
when you finally found a friend, a comrade, and then they abandoned you. It was a huge blow.
Yeah. What drove Sasuke to make that kind of choice?
Well, Sasuke was convinced that power, no matter the cost, was the only way to get his revenge.
Right.
And siding with Orochimaru, this rogue ninja, this really dangerous guy,
Yeah.
it showed just how far he was willing to go. And this betrayal, it changed their relationship completely. It wasn't really a rivalry anymore. It became this one-sided obsession.
Right.
Sasuke was so focused on getting stronger, on getting revenge, that he pushed everyone away.
Yeah.
He didn't want any emotional attachments.
Right.
Not even his friendship with Naruto.
It's crazy that Naruto never gave up on him, though. Even after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that really says something about him.
It does. Throughout Naruto Shippuden, Naruto keeps believing that Sasuke can be redeemed.
Yeah.
That he can come back from all this. And it's not just a thought in his head,
All right.
It's a driving force for him. He's constantly chasing after Sasuke, trying to bring him back.
Yeah. And it really makes you wonder, was it just about saving his friend? Or was there maybe something more to it?
That's the thing, right? It's complicated.
Yeah.
On the one hand, it's clear they have this deep connection.
Right.
They had gone through so much together.
Right.
They respected each other. But I think Naruto also saw part of himself in Sasuke.
Really?
Yeah, that loneliness, the need to be accepted, and maybe, just maybe, saving Sasuke was his way of proving that anyone can come back from the darkness.
Oh.
Even someone like Sasuke.
Right, right.
And by doing that, he was also validating his own hope for acceptance.
So Naruto's chasing after Sasuke, and it's this layered, complex thing.
Exactly.
Right. It's not just black and white.
Yeah.
It's both selfless and kind of for himself too. It adds so much depth to their dynamic.
Absolutely.
How did Sasuke react to all of this, though? I mean, Naruto's chasing after him, trying to save him. Did Sasuke ever show any sign of wavering, of maybe coming back?
Well, Sasuke's journey, it's a complicated one. I mean, he really buried himself in darkness. He was consumed by this vengeance.
Yeah.
But there were moments, little flickers, where his facade would crack. You'd see glimpses of the old Sasuke, the one who cared about connection. But every time, he would push it down. He would just dive deeper into his pursuit of power, pushing Naruto further and further away.
Oh, man. So it was this heartbreaking cycle.
Yeah.
Right. Naruto reaching out and Sasuke pushing him away.
Mm-hmm.
Did their battles after the Valley of the End, did they continue to reflect this dynamic?
Every single encounter was this clash of ideologies.
Right.
It was a desperate attempt by Naruto to reach Sasuke and a brutal rejection by Sasuke of that connection.
Yeah.
And their battles, they became more and more destructive,
Right.
both physically and emotionally. Their skills, they were growing exponentially.
Yeah.
They pushed each other to develop new techniques, more powerful techniques.
Yeah.
But underneath it all, there was always this core conflict. Connection versus isolation, forgiveness versus vengeance.
That sounds exhausting.
Oh, it was.
Right. Both for them and for us, watching it.
Yeah.
Were there any battles that really stand out, that really show this struggle?
Well, their clash at the Uchiha hideout, where Sasuke went after Itachi died, that was a big one.
Oh, okay.
The emotions were just so intense.
Well-
You could feel it.
Yeah.
Naruto, he was desperate to bring Sasuke back to the village, back to the light.
Yeah.
But Sasuke, he was consumed by grief, by rage.
Right.
That fight, it wasn't really about skill anymore. It was raw emotion.
Yeah.
It was Naruto pleading with him and Sasuke just spiraling.
Sasuke's grief, I mean, losing Itachi, that must have been overwhelming.
Yeah.
It makes sense that he retreated further into the darkness.
Yeah, it was too much.
But how did he keep pushing through all that? Keep believing that Sasuke could be redeemed even when he was pushing him away and filled with all that anger?
I think that's just who Naruto is, He believes in the power of connection.
Yeah.
He believes in forgiveness.
Right.
And he understood Sasuke's pain
Mm-hmm.
maybe better than anyone.
Yeah.
And he didn't give up. He met that pain with understanding.
Right.
And he was just determined to pull Sasuke back from that darkness.
Yep.
It's really inspiring, It
Yeah.
shows you the power of friendship.
It's like Naruto represents healing.
Yeah.
Right. Even when things seem impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But their battles weren't just symbolic either.
Right?
Right. They were these epic displays of skill and power.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about how their fighting styles evolved?
Yeah.
How their rivalry really influenced their development?
Oh, their growth was incredible.
Yeah.
They were constantly pushing their limits, trying to surpass each other.
Yeah.
And they mastered these incredibly powerful techniques. Naruto, he started off behind, But he developed his Rasengan.
Right.
He created all these variations, these really powerful and symbolic moves. He mastered Sage Mode.
Right.
And eventually, he was able to control the Nine-Tails chakra.
Wow.
He went from this clumsy underdog to this incredible force.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about Sasuke?
Sasuke was naturally gifted,
Right.
but he honed his skills. He became incredibly sharp.
Yeah.
His Chidori, which was powerful but kind of uncontrolled at first, it became his signature move.
Right.
He mastered the Sharingan,
Right.
unlocked its full potential.
Yeah.
And when he got the Mangekyo Sharingan with its devastating abilities like Amaterasu and Susanoo,
Right.
that marked his descent into darkness, but it also showed how much stronger he had become.
So they're both pushing the boundaries
Absolutely.
of what a shinobi can do,
Mm-hmm.
each driven by their own motivations,
Yeah.
but also fueling each other's growth.
Yes.
But we know it all leads to this final confrontation,
Yeah.
right? This huge battle.
Final showdown.
Can you set the stage for us?
Absolutely.
What leads to that final showdown?
Well, it wasn't just a random location, The Valley of the End, it was chosen for a reason. It's full of symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting with these statues of Madara and Hashirama in the background.
Right.
These figures, they represent like the extremes,
Right.
power and unity.
Right.
So the fight takes on this whole other level of meaning. It's like it's a visual representation of the paths they're choosing.
Wow.
Naruto, he wants connection. He wants peace.
Right.
Sasuke, he's all about vengeance and getting more power.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's more than just a fight. It's like they're fighting for these different ideas.
Exactly.
So what was the actual fighting like? What were their styles like in this battle?
Oh, you could see their personalities in their fighting,
Yeah.
Naruto, he was driven by this need to bring Sasuke back.
Hmm.
So he fought with this raw energy,
Right.
kind of chaotic, unpredictable.
Right. Like him.
Exactly, like him. And Sasuke, he was all cold, precise,
Mm-hmm.
every move, calculated,
Wow.
deadly. He was focused on power. That's all he cared about. It was amazing to watch.
Oh.
Like a dance, but with chaos and order.
Yeah, yeah.
And their emotions, you could feel them.
So what made this battle so important? What made it so pivotal in their story?
This was the point of no return for Sasuke.
Oh, wow.
This is where he fully embraced the darkness. He rejected everything Naruto offered, pushed him away, isolated himself. He just wanted power.
Man, that must have been, I mean, for Naruto, that must have been awful.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
He was defeated, left questioning everything.
Right.
That was the end of their friendship, at least for a while.
Right.
And it set the stage for years of Naruto chasing him.
Wow. It's like Sasuke was saying, nope, I don't want any of that. I don't want hope. I don't want connection.
Yeah, exactly.
And Naruto had to just deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a lot of strength for Naruto to keep believing in Sasuke after that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it would have been easier to just give up.
Right.
Right. To say, Sasuke's gone, he's lost.
Right.
But Naruto, he couldn't do that. He wouldn't let go of that belief that Sasuke could be saved.
It's amazing.
And it wasn't just, a thought, a hope.
Yeah.
He actively fought for it.
Right.
He chased after Sasuke,
Mm-hmm.
always trying to reach him.
Makes you wonder why. Why was he so determined?
Yeah.
Was it just friendship? Or was there something more?
Well, I think it's both.
Okay.
They had this bond, this connection. They
Right.
went through so much together.
Yeah.
But I think Naruto saw a part of himself in Sasuke,
Yeah.
That loneliness, that need to be accepted.
Yeah.
And maybe by saving Sasuke, he was proving to himself that anyone could come back from the darkness.
Right, right.
And that validated his own hope.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah. It's more than just saving a friend,
Right, right. So how did Sasuke react to this? I mean, here's Naruto chasing after him, trying to save him. Did he ever, waver? Did he ever, I don't know, think about coming back?
Sasuke's journey it's messy. I mean, he was so deep in darkness, so consumed by revenge.
Right.
But there were these moments, these tiny little cracks
Yeah.
where you could see the old Sasuke,
Right.
the one who cared.
Yeah.
But then he'd just push it all down.
Right.
He'd push Naruto away and just focus on getting stronger.
It's like this sad, sad cycle.
Yeah, it is. It's really sad.
Naruto reaching out and Sasuke just shutting him down.
Mm-hmm.
So did their battles after the Valley of the End, did they show this push and pull?
Every time they fought, it was like this clash of everything.
Wow.
Their beliefs, their hopes, their fears.
Right.
It was Naruto trying to reach him and Sasuke pushing him away.
Yeah.
And the fights, they got more intense, more destructive.
Right.
Both physically and emotionally.
Yeah, yeah. Were there any battles that were especially powerful that really showed this struggle?
The one at the Uchiha hideout
Okay.
after Itachi died. That one was rough.
Right.
I mean, the emotions, you could feel them.
Right.
Naruto, he was desperate. He wanted to bring Sasuke back,
Hmm.
back to the village, back to the light.
Yeah.
But Sasuke, he was drowning in grief and rage. It
Yeah.
wasn't even really a fight at that point. It It was Naruto pleading
Right.
and Sasuke just losing himself.
I mean, Sasuke losing his brother, it's got to be a lot.
It is. It's a lot to deal with.
It makes sense that he went deeper into darkness.
It does.
But how did Naruto, I mean, how did he keep going?
Mm-hmm.
How did he still believe in Sasuke?
Naruto, he understands pain.
Right.
He knows what it's like to be alone, and
Yeah.
he saw that in Sasuke. And he didn't give up on him. He met Sasuke's pain with understanding, with this stubborn hope.
It's pretty incredible.
It is. It's the power of friendship.
It's like Naruto represents, I don't know, the idea that you can heal.
Yeah.
Even when things are really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Their battles, they weren't just, about feelings.
Right.
Right? I mean, they were also these amazing displays of power, of skill.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Can you talk about how their fighting styles, how they developed?
Well, both of them, they grew so much.
Yeah.
They were always pushing each other, always trying to be better.
Yeah.
And they mastered these incredible techniques.
Right.
Naruto, he started out behind, remember? But he developed his Rasengan,
Right.
created all these variations.
Right.
He mastered Sage Mode.
Right.
And finally, he learned to control the Nine Tails.
Wow.
I mean, he went from this clumsy kid to this powerhouse.
That's amazing.
It is.
What about Sasuke?
Sasuke, he was always gifted.
Right.
But he honed his skills. He was like a sharp blade.
Yeah.
His Chidori, remember?
Mm-hmm.
At first, it was powerful but kind of wild. He
Look.
refined it.
Right.
He mastered the Sharingan,
Right.
unlocked its full potential,
Yeah.
and then he got the Mangekyo Sharingan.
Right. Right.
With Amaterasu, Susanoo.
Yeah.
I mean, those were devastating. That was him going deeper into darkness.
Right.
But it also showed how powerful he had become.
So they were both like breaking the rules in a way
Yeah, in a way.
of what a shinobi could be.
Mm-hmm.
They were each driven by their own things.
Yeah,
But they were also pushing each other.
exactly.
But it all leads up to that final fight.
It is.
Right. That big showdown.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that? What leads up to it?
So Sasuke, he's absorbed all this power from the tailed beasts.
Right.
And he's got this vision, right? He wants to start a revolution. And he's at the peak of his power at this point. Like he's unstoppable.
Right.
And he's determined to reshape the shinobi world,
Mm-hmm.
even if he has to destroy everything to do it.
So he's basically the bad guy now.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's become everything Naruto's been fighting against.
Exactly.
So what was at stake in this last fight?
It was more than just power, you know. It was about the soul of the shinobi world.
Wow.
Sasuke, he was driven by all this pain, all this disillusionment.
Mhm.
He wanted to tear down the whole system, you know?
Right.
He thought it was responsible for all the violence, all the suffering.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to create a new world.
Wow. And where did that leave Naruto?
Naruto, he'd mastered his own power, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he still had this unwavering belief in connection and hope.
Mm-hmm.
He became the only one who could stop Sasuke's revolution.
Wow.
He represented like the opposite of what Sasuke wanted. He believed in the bonds, the connections.
Mm-hmm.
He believed that change could come from within,
Right.
that they could build a future based on understanding, on working together.
So their final battle, it was more than just them fighting.
It was.
It was about these two different ideas for the future.
Exactly. It was a clash of ideologies.
What made this confrontation so captivating for people watching?
Well, they fought in the Valley of the End again,
Oh, wow.
which was, so symbolic.
Right.
And the animation, it was incredible.
Yeah.
You could feel the power of their attacks,
Mhm.
the intensity of their emotions.
Yeah.
They used everything they had.
Right.
They pushed each other to the absolute limit.
And emotionally, I mean, it must have been hard to watch.
Oh, it was.
Right.
It was heartbreaking, but it was also exciting.
Yeah.
All those years of everything, the betrayal, the longing,
Mhm.
it all came out in that fight.
Yeah.
Naruto, he was fighting to save his friend, and
Mhm.
Sasuke, he was fighting to cut all ties.
Yeah. So how did their fighting styles change for this final fight?
They both took things to a whole other level.
Yeah.
Naruto with the Nine Tails chakra, he
Right.
was unbelievably powerful.
Mhm.
His attacks were both like raw force, but also really smart, you know?
Wow.
And Sasuke with the Rinnegan and his Susanoo,
Right.
he was like an unstoppable force of destruction.
Wow.
It was like watching titans clash.
Yeah. So how did it end? How did this epic battle, this clash of everything, how did it finally end?
It came down to this raw emotional exchange. It
Yeah.
was both physical and they were talking, you know,
Right.
yelling at each other, unleashing their most powerful attacks.
Right.
By the end, they were both completely drained, broken.
Yeah.
And in that moment, when they were both so vulnerable,
Right.
stripped of all that power, they finally saw each other, really saw each other.
So it wasn't just about winning or losing.
No.
It was about, like, breaking down the walls they had built.
Yeah, exactly. They had to face the truth about themselves.
And what about Sasuke? I mean, he was so lost.
Sasuke, he saw how much Naruto believed in him,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he was just exhausted, you know,
Right.
tired of fighting.
Yeah.
And he finally admitted it. He admitted that he was in pain, that he'd made mistakes.
And Naruto, he never gave up on him,
No.
even after all that.
He always believed that Sasuke could be redeemed.
It's like all that anger and pain, it just went away.
It did. It was like this huge release.
So their rivalry, it was finally over.
Yeah.
Not with someone winning, but with them understanding each other.
Exactly.
So what happened after that? I mean, the battle's over. What do they do?
Well, their journeys, they changed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Naruto, he became Hokage.
Right.
Like he always wanted, and he led the village into this time of peace.
Wow.
Sasuke, he chose a different path.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to atone for what he'd done.
Right.
He worked in the shadows, protecting the village.
Wow. So their story, it's not just about fighting.
No.
It's about, like, growing up, forgiving each other, and the power of connection.
Exactly. It shows us that even when things are really broken,
Mm-hmm.
you can fix them.
Mm-hmm.
That forgiveness is possible, even after betrayal.
Yeah.
And that real strength comes from believing in others, you know,
Right.
even when they don't believe in themselves.
It's an amazing story.
It is.
It's touched so many people.
It has.
It really shows you the power of stories, you know,
Yeah.
and how these characters, they're complex.
Mm-hmm.
They make mistakes.
Yeah.
They're also incredibly human.
They are.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Naruto and Sasuke's rivalry.
Thanks for having me.
We hope you learned something new about their journey and how their story has impacted anime and really just storytelling in general.
Absolutely.
If you enjoyed the episode, like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.